What stresses you out? Starting a big project? Paying your bills? Homework? Tests? Writing papers? Maybe it's keeping up with your finances or trying to balance family, friends, and personal responsibilities. I think we would all agree that college students face a lot of stressors. In fact, in one study, 89% of college freshmen reported experiencing stress and anxiety. And I want you to remember this important definition about stress. Stress is your reaction to what happens to you. Stress does not just happen to us. So writing a research paper is not stressful unless we let it be stressful to us. In other words, we create our own stress. So what is stress anyway? Well, the American Medical Association says it is any interference that disturbs a person's mental or physical well-being. In a study by the American College Health Association, they found that the three most important stressors for college students were life events, like a death in the family, loss of a job, or an illness, especially when lots of those things happened around the same time. The second one was too many responsibilities at home, work, or college. When you can't find the time to take care of everything you need to do, it can be very stressful. And finally, just little daily hassles. Minor things like losing your car keys, getting stuck in traffic, having 3 tests on the same day, getting in an argument with your roommate or your significant other, worrying about money. All of those things can definitely result in major stress. So stress is actually a chemical reaction. Our body senses something is wrong, and so it releases cortisol and epinephrine, which is adrenaline. And when those things are released into our body, we can experience increased heart rate, metabolism, breathing, muscle tension, and blood pressure. In fact, stress can cause over 1,400 different chemical reactions in your body. And the crazy thing is that the minute the perceived stressor goes away, those chemicals don't just magically disappear. You're going to feel stressed out and keyed up and jittery for some period of time afterwards. Too much stress can inhibit your digestion, your growth, your tissue repair, and even your immune and inflammatory systems. Studies show that people with high stress are twice as likely to develop colds as those with low stress. Did you know that 70 to 80% of all doctor visits are said to be stress related? And things like high blood pressure, headaches, backaches, indigestion, ulcers, diarrhea, fatigue, insomnia, and even physical weakness can result from stress. There are many emotional effects of stress, and there's no one right or wrong way to be stressed out. You may feel anger, hostility, irritability, anxiety, sadness, depression, powerlessness, or even total overwhelm. All of those are very natural reactions to feeling stressed out. So we've been focusing a lot on the source and symptoms of stress, but now let's look at solutions. I want to start with some unhealthy ways to deal with stress. So these are probably things you've heard about or are familiar to you, and maybe even some of them are things that you've relied on in the past. But some unhealthy ways to cope with stress include drugs and alcohol, smoking or vaping, overeating and undereating. I had a friend when I lived in Chicago who said when she was really stressed out, she called her best friend, who immediately showed up with a bag of Reese's peanut butter cups, the little ones wrapped in gold foil. And my friend said she would eat way more than she should. And while she kind of regretted eating all that candy, she said it kind of did help my stress a little. Maybe you zone out, just have that couch potato syndrome, or acting on your anger, reaching out physically, finding a scapegoat, taking your hostility or your stress out on somebody else. Making unnecessary purchases, or is that just me? Withdrawing from family and friends, maybe procrastinating, just putting it off because it's too stressful to you, or getting too much sleep. Now we know those are negative ways to deal with stress, but I also want to talk about healthy ways, healthy things you can do to fight off stress when you feel it coming. A lot of these are great tips. I'll just read through a few of them. Separate from whatever it is that was stressing you out. Resolve the incompletes. If something's hanging over your head, take care of it. You'll feel so much better. We established that money problems can be stressful, so keeping your finances organized can really help. Delegate. Ask somebody to help you. Say no. Set boundaries and really stick to them. Exercise is great for lots of things, including stress. Find ways to relax, maybe breathing deeply, meditating, getting a massage, just sitting quietly and absorbing nature or good music. Take a hot shower or bath. Do something towards your goal. Any little step will help you feel better. Music, a lot of people find music very, very calming, so find music that lifts you up and makes you feel better. Laughter is great. Identify your hurt. What's really at the heart of what's eating at you? Maybe you like puzzles or watching birds. Maybe you can visualize your problems and troubles shrinking down to a more manageable size. Spend time with friends. Make a to-do list. There's nothing more satisfying than marking things off of a to-do list. Treat yourself to something small, like coffee or a cookie maybe. Take a mental vacation. Go to the beach like this couple did in your brain. Challenge your pessimistic beliefs. If you're telling yourself, I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail, do you really think you're going to fail? And if you fail, what's the worst thing that can happen? A lot of people like to write or journal or complete adult coloring books. Time with your pets. I think we all agree that time with a beloved pet or even someone else's beloved pet can really make you feel better. Ask yourself, will this matter a year from now? The answer is probably no. A lot of people I know love to drive. They find driving to be very relaxing. Take a nap. Now, we established that too much sleep can definitely be a way of avoiding your stress or a negative way of handling it if you're just sleeping through everything. But if you're exhausted, that's only going to add to your stress level. So a quick power nap might really help. Reframe it. I said this earlier. If I fail, what's the worst that can happen? Clean things out. Organize. It'll just make you feel better. Spend time in nature. Help other people who are in need. Volunteering your time can be a wonderful way to reduce your stress. And finally, forgive. I love that quote about forgiveness that says we forgive others not because they deserve it necessarily, but because we deserve to be freed up from the burden that holding on to a grudge can carry. So what I want you to do in this assignment is come up with your own personal top 10 stress busters. Focus on the positive ones, please. The things that you can do in a positive way to reduce your stress level when you feel the stressors of the world piling in on you. You can use tips from this PowerPoint, or you can use your own ideas. You may have other things that work really well for you, and I look forward to reading what you come up with.